Hello everyone, welcome back to the Born Again video channel. I'm Mambo Genin. Today I'm sharing the collective monthly due reading for my subscribers, my viewers, everyone who is spiritually connected to the message for August 2026. So as you know, I throw my shells and then I do the interpretation and then I bring it all to you. For this reading, I do my 8 shell 4th row divination system. So remember, this is a collective due or spiritual reading. So take what resonates and use discernment. This does not replace personal readings that you may get. And any restrictions or taboos discussed are just general recommendations. It's for the collective, so it may resonate for some, not for all. They're also for just the month of August 2026 rather than permanent personal taboos. First throw was 2 shells up, 6 shells down. The third throw was 4 shells up and 4 shells down. The throw was 5 shells up and 3 shells down. This gives us the spiritual progression of 2, 7, 4, and 5. The clearest overall message is this: do not mistake uncertain beginnings for an unsuccessful month. This road may appear narrow at first, but it's not completely closed. A major opening is coming, but you must remain balanced, disciplined, and spiritually alert so that you recognize the correct opportunity when it does appear. Let's begin with the first throw. First was 2 shells up, and it was also 6 shells down. So this showed that August may start out with uncertainty, restrictions, hesitations, or divided energy. Some of you may enter the month of August feeling that you don't know which direction you need to take. You may feel spiritually tired. You may feel emotionally overwhelmed. You may feel financially restricted or uncertain about a decision. This is not a complete no. It is more of a conditional situation. The message is this: progress may depend upon what you do next. Something may be possible. It may require preparation, patience, clarification, or change in a approach. In the beginning of the month of August, you may need to slow down and examine what is happening before taking immediate action. Do not force a situation simply because you're tired of waiting. Ask yourself this: are you acting out of spiritual clarity or emotional pressure? Also, some people may need to evaluate divided loyalties, conflicting priorities, or relationships that are draining their energy. You cannot move confidently in 2 opposite directions at the same time. This is true. The first throw warns us of this: against impatience, against fear, against gossip, against emotional decision making, attempting to open a road that may require more preparation. However, the second throw changes the energy significantly. The second throw was 7 shells up and 1 shell down. This is the strongest opening in the entire reading. 7 shells up show a major spiritual opening. It shows a breakthrough, a confirmation, an opportunity of answered prayer. Something that may appear delayed will certainly just open. It will start to move. This may manifest as favorable news, a new opportunity, a job offer, increased visibility, improved communication, spiritual confirmation, financial movement. We like that. Ooh. Or protection from a situation that could have went wrong. We like that too. For some people, something that you've been praying about, petitioning about, asking your spirit guides, your lawas, your saints, your angels, will start to manifest and begin appearing. However, 1 shell is still down. That 1 shell is still important. It shows us that even when the door is open, we still require discernment. Not every door is your door or our door. Not every opportunity is a blessing. Not every person that returns is meant to remain. Not every offer should be accepted without reading the details. I'm preaching to somebody right now. The 7 and 1 throw is saying that there is a powerful forward movement available, but people must still ask questions. Verify the information. Pay attention to what is not immediately visible or seen. Alright, sorry. Camera died. And I need a snack. But this is the strongest part of the reading that I felt Papa Legba's energy. Papa Legba is the spirit with the law of the gate, the crossroads, access, communication, passage. He opens the gate to the spiritual realm so that the human realm and spiritual realm can communicate with one another. The progression from 2 shells up into 7 shells up looks like a restricted road becoming spiritually more open. That's why Papa Legba seems to be the strongest spirit that is communicating or speaking through the movement of this reading. There's a few others, but he's the strongest one. So the message of Papa Legba is not that every road will open, but that the correct road can open, but you must recognize it and walk properly. Pay attention to the communications you get this month. A delayed message may arrive. Someone may finally give you an answer. You may receive information that changes your plans. You may discover that a road that you wanted may not be the road that you need. The third throw was 4 shells up and 4 shells down. Remember, I have 4 throws, so 4 messages. This is a throw of balance, order, stability, reciprocity, as well as responsibility. After the road opened, you must stabilize yourself. You cannot receive a blessing and then become careless. You cannot pray for an opportunity. This message is for someone, and then refuse to prepare for it. You cannot ask for spiritual assistance while ignoring your practical responsibilities. This 4 and 4th row is saying that you have to bring to balance your spiritual life and your material life. In your prayer, your petition work, if you're a bruja, your magic, spellcraft work, all of that, whatever work you do, you have to put in the physical work as well. You got to take action with that. Your intuition must also be supported by discernment. I say this all the time. Discernment. It must be accompanied by responsibility. This is where I feel the energy of Ayizan and Papa Loko, the Mambo and the Ugam. Papa Loko is accompanied with priestly wisdom. He's also associated with spiritual discipline, telling knowledge, sacred tradition, as well as proper conduct. Mambo Ayizan is associated with spiritual purity, baby, proper spiritual order, initiation, the marketplace, protection, and sacred responsibility. So the presence in this reading reminds the collective that an open road must be approached correctly and responsibly. Do not misuse this opening. Do not become arrogant when something starts going in your favor. That may be hard for some, but don't do it. Oh, and please don't neglect your spiritual obligations, especially after receiving this opportunity, your blessings, the things you requested. So Spirit's saying, keep your word. So if you promise God, the Lwa, your ancestors, the saints, or even yourself, that you will make a change, honor that promise. Do it. The 4 for 4 throw also calls for cleaning and organization. Baby Spirit said, clean that altar. Refresh that water on your spiritual table or both of them. Some of y'all know it's cloudy, murky, dusty. They're saying remove their flowers, spoiled offerings, broken items, and old petitions that have completed their purpose. You don't need it there no more. Clean your bedroom. Clean that doorway, your work area, and places where stagnant energy can accumulate. Hell, I don't know, can I say that on this? But Spirit and Freda, he got me about to clean my altar today. I always attend to it, but I cleaned my altar. During the room, I have the time and energy. I worked a whole novena. I worked for 9 days straight, and today is attending my altar. You need to do it too. Maybe that's why I jumped up, because it says it in this reading. Sometimes spiritual disorder is reflected through physical disorder, cleaning disorder, physical disorder. The fourth shelter was 5 up and 3 down. So the month appears to end with more movement, more strength, more confidence than you began with. Go ahead, baby. The 5 and 3 throw shows improvement, shows victory, opportunity through continuous efforts. So continue pushing on, pushing on. So Spirit saying the blessing is available. However, people need to participate in their own breakthrough as well. Lord's help Spirit help you, baby. Receive assistance. You may receive guidance. You may receive an idea. You may receive an introduction. You may receive opportunity. However, you still have to take the action. You may need to submit the application. You may need to complete that paperwork. You may need to make that phone call, create the budget, publish the content, finish the project, attend that meeting, or follow through on that plan. Help Spirit help you. This final throw shows the practical, hardworking energy of none other than Kouzen Zaka, my main man. I've seen, what would you say, like 2 people that kind of represented Kouzen Zaka. I was like, oh, all right, I see you, Kouzen. And some other spirits earlier today. So now he showed up in the reading. He was ready. He's ready to help you. So the energy of Kouzen Zaka is reminding us that spiritual opportunity must be cultivated. You can't only pray over the field. You must cultivate it. You want to hear that again? You cannot ask for financial growth or stability while refusing to create that budget. That's the first step. You cannot ask for business growth without consistently showing up. You cannot ask for new beginnings with holding on to every habit from the old season. The Kouzen Zaka message is discipline, simplicity, patience, and honest labor will help bring the month to a favorable conclusion. Don't we all need that? So here's the spiritual movement of this due. Restriction, opening, balance, and progress. You begin with uncertainty. A road opens. You're required to stabilize yourself. Then you move forward through disciplined action. So now it's time to discuss the do's and the don'ts and the general taboos for the month of August. So remember, these are general taboos for the month, general guidance, and it's not permanent or personal taboos. The first thing you should do is organize and clean your spiritual and physical environment. That's something I have already started doing today before I even did the do reading for the YouTube channel. And it's here. Because remember, this is for you and it's for me, even though I will also do my own personal, because everything in here is not for me because this is a collective reading. But this part seems like it aligns. Remember that 4 for Thor show strongly calls for order, call for refreshing your altar, which I did today, prayer space, your bovida, doorway, bedroom, and your workspace. The next thing you need to do is keep your word. The word with your loas, your saints, your spirit guides, your ancestors, even people around you. So fulfill promises and obligations. Do not make spiritual promises in desperation. Please don't do that, please. Then forget them when the situation improves. Please don't. You should ask for confirmation before making major moves. Like when I found this place, I did a shell throw. Before doing a spiritual work, I did a shell throw and did a confirmation, and it told me to do something else. Even though I wanted to do something else, they told me something else to do. So I just try to do what the spirit want me to do, especially when I really need to make a decision, and especially when I'm emotionally So pray, divine, if you're able to, or seek someone who can. Seek wise counsel. And who do we believe in that? Louisiana, who do we believe in that? It don't have to be me. It could be anyone. or carefully examine the facts before accepting major opportunities. Remember, the 7 and 1 throw shows a major opening, but remember, one shell is still closed. So remember, you should still read that contract. You should still check those dates. You should still verify the information. You should still ask questions. You should still pay attention to what is missing. You should also take practical action. So remember, do not stay passive while waiting for a miracle. Remember, the 5 and 3 shows that your active participation does matter. Protect your peace, protect your plans. You don't have to announce every opportunity before it becomes stable. Even I sometimes deal with that. For the most part, it got way better, but still, we can always improve. Sometimes talking too early exposes a blessing to unnecessary opinions. We hate people's opinions. You know, somebody always got a negative opinion. Like, shut up. Jealousy, interference, or confusion. I want to say, like, shut up. But yeah, that'll cut all that out. Be mindful of your words during August. Sometimes that's hard to do. But yes, let's just be mindful this month. Try to avoid unnecessary gossip, arguments, dishonesty, and careless promises. Don't just make promises all willy-nilly that you're not going to keep. So now we can discuss what needs to be avoided. Don't force situations that repeatedly shows like resistance. Don't force it open. Remember, a delay does not always mean denial. But remember that repeated resistance may be telling you to like pause, prepare, or choose another direction. Do not make impulsive commitments just because something seems or appears to be exciting. That's like making tricky, boo. Do not break promises. This month, get out of that habit of neglecting your altar, your spiritual obligations. Do not spoil your food, stagnant water, dead flowers, or unsafe candles sitting in your spiritual space. Do not begin many spiritual works at the same time. You do not need to perform road opening work, a love work, a money work, a reversal, a protection ritual, and a cleansing ritual all at once. You're doing a lot. Too many conflicting intentions can create confusion. Choose one spiritual intention and you work that consistently. You should also stop confusing spiritual opportunities with instant results. So that must be for a lot of people because that showed up in the reading. So the reading is favorable, but still shows process, due process. The road opens, balance must be restored, then the opportunity must be worked. So now let's discuss the spiritual work that can help the collective for the month of August. The first is a simple road opening prayer or devotion. Place a clean glass of water. You may place some coffee. You may place a yellow candle. And this is in your prayer space or spiritual altar. You can also place a clean key besides that candle. It's a symbol of access and opening the rightful doors. Legba energy. St. Peter too. You can pray Psalms 23 and say, Papa Legba, with permission of God, Bandi, and the spirits who walk with me, open the roads that are right for me, and close the roads that will bring confusion, deception, or harm. Help me recognize the proper opportunity, speak correctly, move wisely, and remain balanced with the doors open. Ago, Papa Legba. So people who may not serve the Lawa, you may go to directly to pray to God, your ancestors or spiritual guides, or the corresponding saint. My second recommendation is a gentle spiritual cleansing. This doesn't seem like a month where everyone needs to do aggressive reversal work. A gentle spiritual cleansing of confusion, stagnation, and emotional heaviness may be appropriate. You may wash your hands, the back of your neck, and your feet while praying Psalms 51 or Psalms 23. Attention maybe if you want to use this. Remove confusion from my mind, stagnation from my road, heaviness from my spirit, and disorder from my life. Another recommendation is a doorway cleansing. Clean or mop your home, moving the dirt towards your front door. Very traditional. Clean your doorway and you can say, may confusion leave this home. May the rightful road open. May only peace, protection, prosperity, and rightful opportunity enter. Household products carefully. Do not mix things that should not be mixed as well. This recommendation is balance work. Because of the 4 and 4 throw, you may place a clean glass of water on the altar. Above with your spiritual space, your spiritual altar closet like I have. This is for peace, clarity, and spiritual equilibrium. You may also pray Psalms 91 for spiritual protection while doing this. Alright, y'all, I'm giving y'all some Louisiana hoodoo up in here. You may also honor the principle of Kouzen Zaka by completing one practical step or task that supports your future. This may look like create a budget, clean your pantry, save a small amount of money, complete unfinished work, donate food, tend a plant, organize your business, repair something that has been neglected. In this case, the practical action itself becomes part of the spiritual work. And this is also some stuff that I already started doing or started thinking about doing. So this is right aligned. So I'm very curious on how much of this will be in my own personal reading as well once I do mine. So your largest warning in this reading is premature movement. Moving too quickly, moving too soon on things without, your spiritual discernment. The road may open dramatically or quickly, but do not make a move without thinking about the possibilities, without paying attention to the details. Pause long enough to confirm the details. What's that saying? Wolf in sheep clothing? You gotta make sure there's not a wolf in that sheep clothing, baby. This dude does not tell you to remain still forever. It tells you to prepare first, to confirm the road, restore balance, and then you move with discipline. So your road may look narrow in the beginning of August, but it is not closed. Papa Legba seems to be opening the way. Kouzen Zaka reminds us that once the road opens, we still have to do the work. The blessing is available, the opportunity is possible, and the movement is favorable. Your responsibility, your discernment, and discipline will determine how well you are prepared and able to receive and maintain what is opening for you in this month of August. So the collective message for 2026 is this: do not mistake delay for denial. Do not mistake every open door for the correct door. Stay balanced and keep your word. Protect your plans. And be ready to move when the true confirmation arrives. May God, the Loko, the ancestors and the saints, and the spiritual guides who walk with you bring clarity, protection, bring balance, and rightful opportunity throughout this month of August. Ago, Aibobo, Ashe, Amen. Till next time, I am Priestess Mambo Ginin, and if you're interested in a spiritual advisement, links in the bio. Till next time, stay blessed. Hit the subscribe button. I'll probably make a short of this somehow, but if people don't have to watch the long form video, they want the fullness.